Hello everyone and welcome to my new video where I'm going to react to 10 things confident alpha males never do. Let's see if I'm one. To be honest, it's just a reaction. I'm not mocking alpha M because among the one truly believing the theory of alpha, beta, omega males, etc. It's one of the nicest, so yeah, and to be honest, I'm doing it because of views. Maybe if I tag him, I'm going to have more views and yeah. So let's see what we got going on.
Gentlemen, I need you to do something for me. Take your hand, grab your nuts, scream! Ah!
No, why would I? Why would I take my hands and grab my nuts and scream? Maybe I don't want to scream. Maybe I like to be quiet. Maybe I find it cringe. Maybe in taking my nuts in my hand, if I had nuts, because you don't know about me. If I had nuts and I took them in my hand, and by the way you're acting, I'd say in an aggressive way, isn't there a possibility for me to bust them out? To crush them? So, and if I don't want to, imagine I'm in a public place. But alright, if I do it and I'm sent to jail, I'm going to say I just did what Alpha M told me to do.
Now, you're ready. Confidence. It's all about confidence. If you feel good about yourself, you feel good about the person you see looking back at you in the mirror, every single aspect of your life gets better.
Like I said before, I don't agree with the alpha, beta, omega, even the new sigma category type of shit, but I agree with what he just said. Your confidence grows if you love yourself. So to everyone watching, to 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 person watching this video, I want you to understand that you have to love yourself. You have to see yourself as beautiful, pretty, handsome, whatever you like. To love yourself, that's the most important thing. Because the first thing that you should prioritize in your life is you. Okay, let's continue.
The truth is, I have not always been a confident dude. There was a lot of my life that I was very insecure, I was very shy, I was timid. Good news is that confidence is something you can build, it's something you can develop, and it all starts with subscribing.
No, I'm not going to subscribe. I guess I'm going to be not have confidence for all the rest of my life. That sucks.
To Alpha M. And giving this video a big thumbs up. Now that that's out of the way, today I'm going to go over 10 things that confident men never, under any circumstances, do. Number 1, confident men never bully or put other people down. Bullies...
Yeah? I agree with your message if that's what you're wanting to teach to everyone. I like it. Maybe I'm going to leave you a like finally. Or maybe not, but I like it for now.
They're typically insecure people, and what they do is they try to push other people around to make themselves feel better. It's like if they're stronger, if they can talk down to somebody, they're gonna do it because in their head they're like, yo, this makes me feel better. I'm the man. I am superior to them. When you're confident, you try to help.
It's right because bully other people because of the trauma they got, because of the inferior complexes or superior complexes, because of everything they got inside, and they can really I'm not going to say treat, but manage. So they transform everything they got inside into anger, into hatred, into what? That they put on everyone else. That doesn't mean that what they do is right. but bullying someone, it one of the signs that shows that inside you you're not very confident. There's something broken inside.
You try to lift people up and inspire them. Second thing confident men never do is they don't brag. Confident men aren't.
I'm going to leave you like I like you for now. But yeah, like bragging doesn't make you look confident. That only makes you look like an asshole. So there's that to begin. It's like it's just an analogy, but it's like those people that are always saying, "Oh, I'm so nice, oh, I'm so kind." I'm not that kind of person. Most of the time, they are, because when you are nice, you're not the type of people to say that you're nice. Other people will say it, but not you. I'm not really sure that I'm understood right here, but that's the gist of it.
Taking shirtless selfies, they're not posting pictures of themselves with chicks in bikinis. It's not what they do, because confident men don't need to. They don't need to brag.
That depends. They don't need to probably imagine imagine like Jason Momoa, like I wouldn't say no, or maybe Tommy Deston, Ryan Reynolds, those Timothée Chalamet got abs. I'm not sure. But what I mean by that is, people, if you're out, as long as you're not an asshole, please post your pictures on internet. Please.
And tell people how much money, how amazing they are, because everybody else already knows they're dope as shit. Bringing us to number 3. Confident men don't constantly need validation from other people.
You're right, but playing the devil advocate, I'd like to say that even sometimes, let's say, no, not let's say, because that's so true, there's a lot of people that are truly beautiful, that are truly pretty, handsome, good looking, but because of their lack of confidence in themselves, they don't believe it. They need other people, maybe family, maybe friends, maybe partner, tell them you're looking good, you're beautiful, to give them compliments for them to understand that fact, and by that build their own confidence. So yeah, I understand you a little bit, but on the other side,
about how good they are, how amazing, how pretty, how handsome, how sexy. Confident men are self-assured and they're comfortable in their own skin. They're well moisturized and super sexy.
no, I'm not going to let you do your advertisement, because I'm sure that already millions of people saw it. So I'm going to go fast forward. Is that the end?
I'm gonna use a moisturizer.
Is that the end?
Subpar, inferior skincare product is that when you take care of your skin, you feel better. Down below. What are you waiting for? All I'm saying is that you could be more handsome. Don't be mad. Don't get all like freaking out, because that's actually number 5. The 5th thing that confident men don't do, they're not overly sensitive. Confident men can take constructive criticism. Now, this doesn't mean that criticism is fun to hear, because criticism...
I agree with you on that topic. Like, sometimes you fuck up. Sometimes you make errors. You need to hear criticism about what you did to become better. Sure, it's not always pleasant, not always good to hear, but you have to become a better person. Sometimes I understand that we don't want to hear it because of a lack of confidence. We fear it. It's like we are attacked, and sometimes we want to protect our feelings, we want to protect ourselves first. So we don't want to listen to it, we don't want to take that criticism down. And that's the problem. We have to understand that we aren't perfect, and that most of the time I said, because sometimes it's only to hurt you, when you got people giving you advice, talking to you, you listen to them, even if it hurts, and try to take it in a good way, because maybe tell you that in the future it helps you to be a better person, to not make the same mistakes again.
Is never fun, but they understand that some criticism is actually designed to benefit them. They hear it, they listen, they apply it. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean it. You're amazingly handsome, just the way you are. I'm sorry, don't be mad at me. What I did there, acting all insecure, apologizing all the time, I'm not sorry at all. You could be better looking, but the sixth thing that confident men don't do, they don't always apologize. This is something that I struggle.
That depends, like, sure, I got a friend, my only true friend I'm going to say, even if I think that I'm going to lose them, so I'm not even sure that I could still say that they are my friend, that they're my bestie, or whatever. Even when they do nothing wrong, they are apologizing. And that's the problem. Sometimes I do it too, but the problem with it is that people can try to use you. Even when it's not your fault, even when you did nothing wrong, they'll maybe see it as a weakness and try to use it against you. So, I'd never say to never apologize, but apologize only when you did something wrong. Try to apologize the less possible if you think. And when I say when you think, that means that you really thought about it in a critical way, in a logical way, that you did nothing wrong. In that case, don't apologize. Because when the other person even apologize, even if they know that they're involved wrong, they got some power over you, and they're going to use it trying to be a better person when they're not.
With even today, like, I'm a people pleaser. I never want anybody to be upset with me. I never want anybody to be mad at me. I'm always apologizing, even when things aren't necessarily my fault, just so that they're not mad. Whenever I find myself apologizing for things that I didn't do wrong or that's not my fault, I know that.
And in your case, you just said when you did nothing wrong, you're apologizing. You shouldn't. You said I did nothing wrong. I won't apologize for something I didn't do. And that's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's my insecurity, like wanting to creep out, and I gotta harness it. I gotta grab it and push that shit back down. Raw! The seventh thing that confident men don't do, they don't wait for life to happen. They go out and grab it. Confident men know that success, the only way they're gonna get it if they make it happen.
To everyone, that's not only concerning men, women, non-binary folks, my people. I unfortunately learned it the hard way. Even if my parents could give me everything, they wouldn't. Because, like, I might not telling my life story on the internet when no one really cares, but they could do things that could have helped me more, that could have facilitated my life a lot. they could have done things that made me happier, but they didn't. And I was disappointed. And I realized that in life I could only count on myself. People I love, be they my friends, be they my family, will they were always going to hurt me. I could only count on me. And because of this, I decided to begin doing something for myself now. Maybe in the future they help me, but I don't want to depend on them. I'm going to do things my way. I'm either going to make it, either going to die trying to make it. That's all I got to say. But like he said, don't wait for an opportunity. Try to create the circumstances. Is that a word? Try to create the condition for you to have the thing that you want. Try to depend, the less possible, of people around you, of fate, of karma, of whatever you believe in.
Are in control of our own destiny, and this is something that confident men totally understand. Did you see what Antonio was wearing in that last RMRS video? See what I just did there? I was gossiping about my boy, Antonio Centeno. Confident men don't gossip or talk shit, which is number 8. Confident men are like, yo, seriously? Like, I don't have time to hear about that nonsense.
That depends, because sometimes gossiping simply that's wonderful. But like when you're gossiping and you're talking of hurting someone, like that's not really true, but for me there's like a good gossiping and a bad gossiping. Imagine like someone assaulted a teenager or an elderly person, and you're gossiping about it. You're gossiping about it, you're telling it to other people, you're going to tell it to other people, and maybe because of this, the police, if they didn't intervene before, the police is going to intervene now. Police officers are going to intervene now. And so because of it, you would make the life of the community safer. You would avenge the elderly person to the tragedy happened, and yeah. Because sometimes when you're gossiping, and unfortunately when I say sometimes, that's a lot of time. When you're gossiping, you're talking about people and you're only talking about them just to trash them. Like you're talking about them just to hurt them, just to defame them. When there's sometimes more innocent people in the entire world, in the whole world, but we still do it, and that's a problem. Don't gossip if you're going to dirt the name of someone. You're going to do it in a way to hurt this person.
Too busy kicking life's ass. 9th thing that confident men don't do is they don't avoid eye contact. It's a birthmark. Eye contact. Confident men know that it is important. It is critical. It's imperative.
Eye contact? Like, I understand that sometimes breaking eye contact, it can be seen as a weakness. But at the same time, I don't really want to. When you talk to a person, it's true that you have to look them in the eyes, but always keep eye contact. Like at the moment, it's becoming creepy, you know. Or maybe I'm the only one thinking like this.
To make eye contact with other people when you're talking to them, because when you're not, it makes you look timid, it makes you look scared, it makes you look weak. And last but certainly,
Timid doesn't always mean that you're weak, you know. Or just maybe not really good with people or don't like them. Sure, some people would think that timid mean being weak, but you can be timid most of the time, and when you have to, Be assertive. Timid doesn't mean that you're weak.
And not least, the 10th thing that confident men do not do is they don't stalk people on social media.
Thank you. I'm going to give you a like because of what you just said. That doesn't make you look like a Don Juan, a guy in a fake day searching just for love or whatever bullshit you got in your damn mind that just make you look like a creep. No, don't make you look like that. Just reveals your nature as a creep. And the less creep on the internet, the better we are. The less creepy we are, the better society is, whatever. So please don't do it. But like, I never did it in my entire life. I'm 18, I never did it. I never truly thought about it, I never was like, I should start this person on the internet and send them weird, disgusting pictures and harass them on the internet. I never did this, never thought about this. Please, people, never do this. On the internet, it's easy to think that people are just behind the screen, that their lives doesn't impact you, but behind the screens, there's other people just like you, that got families, that got friends, that got their own life, their own shit they got to face. So, yeah.
Saying word on the street is that you're a little bit of a creeper at times. Hey, I'm talking, you're like, yo, Alpha caught me, oh my god, he saw me creeping on Brenda and Sheila and definitely Janice.
I'm going to give you a like. But before we end of this video, I'm going to show why the theory of the alpha male is false. Before I show the proof, we have to understand that the person that made the experiment didn't do it in a normal environment. They did it in an environment where the wolves were caged, were like in prison, and because of this they were distressed, and because of this they acted in an unconventional way. So normally in the nature things don't happen like that, but because they were in an unknown territory, because they were caged, because they were with other aggressive animals, they became aggressive and created this hierarchy. So in true life, that thing doesn't exist. Alpha man, beta man, mega man, sigma man. Some people will probably say that I'm telling this just because I'm an omega or whatever, but yeah, or a beta or beta. But let's prove that I'm right. So here we are, and let's see what's written. I'm going to put a link in the description. It's also interesting because alpha males aren't actually a thing. As the writer Saladin Hamid pointed out, the concept of alpha male wolves that assert dominance over the pack through aggression comes from a debunked model of looping social groups. David Meek introduced the idea of the alpha to describe behavior observed in captive animals. Alphas, he wrote in his 1970 book The Wolf, Ecology and Behavior of an Endangered Species, in control of their pack environment with other males. But, as he outlined in 1999 paper, he since rejected the idea in light of research into the behavior of wolves in the wild. In Nature, Meek writes, wolves split off from their pack when they mature and seek out opposite-sex companions with whom they form new packs. The male and female co-dominate a new pack. I hope that you all understand. The male and female co-dominate a new pack for a much simpler, more peaceful reason: development of all the pups. Meek writes on his website that his original book is currently still in print, despite an email pleas to a publisher to stop publishing it. Another Twitter user, Mike Westfall, pointed out another paper on the misuse of the phrase alpha males to describe breeding roosters. In a 2003 book, Sexual Selection, What We Can and Can't Learn About Sex from Animals, the biologist Marlene Zuk pointed out that social groups of ants who have pecking orders, that is, hierarchy among the female with dominance acceded to pecking. The roosters are not part of the social groups, Zuk writes, and the idea that the top ant is someone alpha male bizarrely misgender the dominant bird. So even in a rooster, alpha in parentheses is not the male but the female. All of which is to say, humans who enjoy either alpha males but want to keep in mind that there isn't really any such thing, and to the extent the term has any meaning at all, it describes the behavior of a captive, lonely creature. In that case, that was the behavior of captive, lonely wolves. So in true life, alpha males doesn't exist. It's just a theory. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all like this video.